This is the third part of the Cellular Level of Organization chapter material. This is concentrating on the nucleus. The nucleus is an important aspect of any cell in our body. It is the location where all of our genetic material is stored, the DNA in the form of chromosomes. It has a double-layered membrane around the outside, regulating what moves in and out of the nucleus. The nucleus is an important structure in the class of cellular life known as eukaryotes. The name eukaryote means true nucleus, and it differentiates that type of cellular life to which humans belong from prokaryotes, which do not have a nucleus. Prokaryotes would be organisms like bacteria, and their DNA is in the cytoplasm with the rest of what's in their cell. But the organization of eukaryotes into membrane-bound compartments, including the nucleus, is important in organizing the cell so that it functions in a completely different way. The nuclear envelope is a double-layered membrane, again, and is important in allowing things in and out of the cell. It's covered in protein structures referred to as nuclear pores, which can allow material to move in and out in a very specific way. Within the nucleus, the DNA is found in a form called chromatin, which is in different configurations depending on what's going on in the cell, but it can be condensed where very, very long DNA molecules are wrapped around proteins known as histones, not unlike thread wrapped around a spool. This arrangement will keep the DNA in a rather compact state, and the pieces of DNA, the regions of DNA where there are active genes, will be unspooled and probably remain so as they're needed within the cell's functioning lifetime. There is a particularly dense area of the nucleus called the nucleolus, which really just translates as little nucleus, containing genes for the ribosomal RNA. And so every cell is going to need that area to be active. All cells have ribosomes, which are needed for protein synthesis, and so the nucleolus is going to be an active part of any cell. Every cell is expected to have only one nucleus, although there are a few exceptions to that are subjects of this course. And one outstanding example of that is skeletal muscle. So in this field of view, you can see a number of nuclei dotted along the length of a muscle cell or muscle fiber. The muscle fiber is a single cell, and each of the dark dots along its edge is a nucleus. The muscle cells began as normal cells with just one nucleus, and multiple muscle cells, called myoblasts during the developmental stage, merged together to make up one incredibly large mature cell. The nuclei from all those myoblasts remain independent, and they take care of the functions necessary of a nucleus in local areas within the cell. So they're multinucleated cells, which is unusual for cells, and it's really because multiple cells merge together. A similar configuration is seen in a type of bone cell called the osteoclast. It's not a fibrous arrangement like seen in here, but it does have multiple nuclei, as the cells that it originated from merged together and each individual nucleus remained behind as an independent unit. Another notable exception to the every cell has one nucleus expectation is the red blood cell. This is two micrographs, electron micrographs, showing a reticulocyte in the red bone marrow that is losing its nucleus as it becomes a mature red blood cell. Red blood cells don't have nuclei. New red blood cells are not made from old red blood cells, but rather made new from the red bone marrow. And so mature red blood cells don't have nuclei, they don't need them for their function, which is to carry oxygen. And in fact, oxygen is potentially damaging to a molecule like DNA, so having a nucleus in red blood cell would be pointless, as oxidative stress would probably alter the DNA, which can lead to mutations and is nothing that any cell wants to have.